Blairlex. Welcome back to the Voice on Internet podcast. I'm here with my co-host and co-creator. Who are you?
Hello, everybody. I'm Scottscy, and today you're joined by a very sick Blair.
I'm sick.
If you hadn't noticed,
I'm actually like I thought I was gonna be okay today. I started the day pretty good. I got my warm cup of hot water. And then I started my day and I did all my vocal exercise and stuff. And now I'm here and now I'm fucked. Dude, other than that, dude, how are you feeling, Scottscy?
I'm feeling pretty good today, surprisingly.
Oh yeah. Dude, tell me about your good day.
Well, it's just that I've had a good few days off work because somehow I managed to land 6 days off of work in a row. Which is very nice. It's not even like holidays or anything. It's just how the rotas fell. So I've had some good days off.
Dude, that's awesome.
The last 3 days, because it's been 3 of them already, which is kind of annoying because it's flying by so quick. But all 3 days I've streamed.
I've actually been watching your streams. I've actually been calling you out on stream. Dude.
Which has been insane because I don't normally stream that much. But I got in from work because I did my 10-hour shift, and then I got in from work, and I just felt like streaming because I just wanted to just do some stuff to keep me awake so I could reset my sleeping pattern because I work nights and I want to be awake during the day over my 6 days off. Oh, whoa. That's not out of me. Pardon me. Anyway, but yeah, I immediately started streaming. I was just playing Fortnite for the time being because there's a new game mode on Fortnite, which is really fucking fun.
Oh, is it like one of those last time I played Fortnite, Thanos was in there snapping everybody?
Yeah, kind of. Like it's just one of the limited time modes. Like every season they do have a few limited time modes. This one is low gravity. Everyone has 50 health and it spawns nothing but snipers.
Oh, that's
and there's no fall damage. So you're just flying around the map trying to do trick shots and it's just dead fun. So I was streaming a lot of that, and then I jumped on a VR shooter called Contractors. I've shown you it before.
Contractors, yes, you did show me.
Yeah,
Contractors.
I picked it up, and I thought, why not? I'd give it a go. And I was playing it for a bit, and I was like, this is actually really sick. And then Joe came online and started watching, so I gave him a cheeky gift. I gifted him the game, so I had someone to play with.
Yeah.
So me and him just ended up playing that for hours as well, and it was just super fun. And just I've missed like the VR games community because everyone who plays VR games are super cool.
Well, that's the
because
thing,
they're the only people who are dedicated enough to games that would buy a VR. Mm-hmm. So you just find the coolest people in VR. And we were playing Contractors, and we were on a team with this guy called Sir... Oh, what is his name now?
No, we gotta shout him out.
It was from... It was him and his mate were from Monty Python. Like, they were Monty Python characters from the Holy Grail. Because we had Sir Galahad, and then it was also Sir Robin.
Sir Robin.
And it was dead funny because
Did he bravely run away?
Yeah. Well, what Sir Robin's technique was, he'd spawn with 3 grenades, and he had a mortar of an arm on him.
Oh my god.
He was on the other team. We'd get on the site, and then we just had like ting ting ting, 3 grenades land all around you. No matter where he was on the map, he had this arm that would perfectly arc it onto the site and would just decimate you. Oh, it was so funny, just shouting and screaming at people. And
dude, that's some Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 shit right there. You know what I mean? Where you just you just jump, you'd throw the grenade and you'd hit them, and then they'd call you a noob tuber in chat. But that's not the point. The point is that you had the fucking arm of destiny.
Like, on a non-VR game, it would have been frustrating, but the fact that it was in VR, it was hilarious.
That's the thing. Like, you just can't take VR games not necessarily that seriously, but whenever I'm playing VR games and stuff like that, I don't know, I've just got such a lighthearted feeling about it, you know? When somebody kills me or anything like that, it's just funny. You know,
well, yeah, it's like you can't, because VR isn't at that point where it's fully fleshed out that it can be perfect, if you know what I mean. There is a esports what's the community on VR for games like Pavlov and Onward. But I couldn't. I'd love to take it seriously, but I don't have the setup for it, and I don't have the equipment because all the pros use gun stuff.
Yeah, I did see
where you clip your controllers into a stock and they just got perfect aim and they ruin you, and they all play it like it's fucking a military sim, and it's terrifying.
I'm still waiting for
I'd love to do it all,
the
but
potential like armor sim that's gonna be on VR,
Mm,
and then just see
that's gonna
those
be
boys like in
amazing.
full armor camo and shit like that, like BB gun armor
Well-
inside.
well, because you'd have all those people. Like, if there ever was like an armor sim, like armor game, well, army game, sorry, and then like me and you jump on it, and we're all just like, "Hello, where are we? Hello." Hey, look, they're friends. It's like, nope, they are the enemy.
Is that our?
It's like, fall back. I mean, you're like, hey, want a hug?
Is that our potential team? They are the enemy. Don't go that way. That's a 410 69er. We're just like, I can take him. I've got a knife.
I've got a knife and a handgun with 5 bullets. I think I got this. It's like, no, you don't. They've got heavy machine guns and artillery. It's like,
Don't worry,
I got this. Runs
I
across
have,
an
like,
open
a fucking
field.
degree in psychology, dude. I can talk him down. That's the thing. Like when you show me contractors, which is like it's a super duper fluid FPS on thing, because like you got things like Pavlov and what's the other one we played as well? They're a bit more
Onward.
Yeah, they're a bit more like real. Like I don't know why, but like when I first saw like contractors, it reminded me a lot of Brink.
Oh yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Remember that shooter?
Yeah, I
loved
didn't play
Brink.
much, but yeah. Well, Contractors is trying more to be like the Black Ops 4.
Yeah.
Because if you sprint and then crouch in real life, your character starts sliding, and it feels really cool to try and slide around a corner of an SMG. Like, I kept trying to do it, and that's why, like, the last 2 days, I have been paralyzed. My
You
legs,
just got like massive carpet burn on your legs.
my legs are in agony because, like, I was just essentially stood in my room squatting for about like 6 hours straight. Like, my legs are burning. I've had 2 baths just to try and calm my muscles down. It hasn't made a difference. It's like one of the good things recently as well is because I've set up a sort of 360 tracking for my Oculus. It works really well. It's not like 100% there, but it works way better than just normal like 180. So I've been able to like go prone and actually be tracked prone, and I was doing it so much, and people were getting so angry at me. Like, you could hear them scream, like they'd run onto site, and I'd be there prone behind a box. They'd run in, I'd spray them down. They'd be like, "Oh, what the fuck, dude?" And I'm like, "Way!" Snakes away. It was so fun. But like, it just feels good to have proper tracking. I've never had it. I've always had like 180, and I've had to snap turn, and it looks really clunky when I stream it. And
dude,
now it looks good.
do you still do snap
great.
turning? Like,
Not anymore now. No, that's what I mean.
no.
I had to, but I don't anymore because I've got 360.
I couldn't do snap turning. Like, I don't know what it is. Like when you snap turn, like, I don't know, just being like clonked into a place. It's like you're a Lego piece being like clicked into somewhere. It fucked me up. I couldn't do that.
You get used to it. Well, it's like we had to because I couldn't.
yeah.
We couldn't get tracked if I turned around. It stopped tracking everything. So you get used to it eventually. But now that I've got 360, I could never go back.
You just got it all.
Because me and Joe have also been playing Zero Caliber, which is the other one I told you to get.
Yeah.
But that one is more like mission based. There's no PvP, unfortunately, but it's more mission based. It's like me and Joe, like there was this mission we were on, and it was basically we spawned on like sort of the trenches of this like war, and we were running across and jumping into all these trenches and stuff, and there was landmines everywhere, and there was explosions and mortars hitting us everywhere, and me and Joe were just screaming our heads off and just running in, spraying people down, and it just felt like so cool. And I had 360, so I was just running and spinning around in my room shooting people, and I was just like, this is video games. This is what I've needed in my life.
That's the thing when
It's super fun.
when I first played Pavlov and the other one. I forgot what the other one was, but it's another shooter that we played to Onward. That's the one.
Yeah. I remember you screaming, "How do you reload?" And then you dropped your gun and just started panicking and whipped your knife out and started running.
But the thing is though, with like those type of games, it's just you. Like usually when you're like playing a normal shooter, you just press reload, and like the intensity is the fact of your skill. But with VR shooters and things like that, you can actually just get shell shock there and just start panicking and stuff. If you're like like having people like yell at me just like it's the down B. Like you just try and like get it out of your gun, but you just can't. you like. You
I
keep
remember
dropping
just
the
watching you
gun.
panic because you're like, "How do I reload?" And I was like, "You have to press the bottom button." And you were like, "What? What am I doing?" And you're just there crouched in the corner with gunfire all around you. You're like, "What button do I press?" Like, down. Press the bottom button. You're like, "Ah!"
It's like the gunshots get like louder and louder and louder, and all you hear is people screaming at you, and you're just like, ah, like that's kind of why I love VR shooters, and I think that's probably going to become the future eventually, just VR shooters, because just the idea of like, I don't know, having the intensity of being like in that battle just really does it for me. I wasn't used to that type of feeling, and I hope I never get used to it because it's so fun to be so out of your element. Because when you
Well, I think it's just gonna get better.
yeah.
You know, like once we get controllers with like full haptics that like will jolt with like a gun and
Oh
like,
yeah.
you know, once it's like a lot more immersive and like you get the haptic suits that you can get where it's like if an explosion goes off, it'll shake your whole body and then you get shot and you can feel exactly where you got shot. It's gonna get there eventually. It's nowhere near it now, but like down the line, we're gonna get to a point where it's gonna feel like we're actually in a war zone and it's just gonna be terrifying. But it's just, I'm waiting for a proper VR shooter to come out because we've got plenty,
Yeah.
but none of them are there yet.
Ah yeah.
None of them have like progression systems or leveling up or like unlocking weapons and unlocking this and story mode and fully fledged out multiplayer. They're all sort of like, at the moment, just sort of, what do they call it? Like tech demos.
Yeah.
They're getting there because you've got Zero Caliber had the sort of story mode because it had voice actors, it had characters. You don't learn anything about them because you don't care. You just want to go shoot shit because the story wasn't fantastic. You've got fantastic multiplayers like Contractors and like Onward and Pavlov, but all of them don't have like, oh, you start off level 1 and you have this shit SMG and this shit assault rifle, and then you level up like no like Call of Duty progression where you unlock like weapons as you get better, and then like all these you can unlock weapon skins by completing challenges. Like imagine like having a challenge where it's like get 50 knife kills and you're like, I am on it, and you've just got to sneak your way through levels and knife people, and like just stuff like that needs to be implemented soon. Like I could see Contractors doing it because Contractors has a very similar loadout system to Call of Duty where you'll get given guns and then you've got a certain amount of points. So you spend those points on attachments like you want a silencer, a sight, and how many grenades you can hold and stuff. Like it all depends on how many points you've got. So hopefully once the game comes out of like the stage it's in, which is like sort of beta-ish, it's like you have to unlock all your guns and unlock all your attachments, and then you can unlock like character customization and just add more game modes and huge maps, and it'd just be so good. VR games need to be fleshed out. They're not there yet. It annoys me.
That's the thing that's like so exciting to be kind of like being brought up with VR games as well, because you're kind of seeing how shit they were.
Yeah, we're gonna live through the progression.
Yeah,
We're gonna be able to see what has happened, like what happens. Like give it 20 years. Oh,
like I can't wait until we have those like full body suits, you know, so when you actually get stabbed, you get super duper stabbed, and I can be just like I don't know, like an anime woman in VR chat and actually feel the head pats. You know what I mean? This is fucking Valve, make it happen, please.
we're gonna look stupid, but we're gonna feel amazing. It's like when you stream
Oh yeah.
Beat Saber with a face cam on and you look like an utter imbecile just in your room flailing your arms about going like 1 2 7
But that's the thing though, like when you look on screen with like no webcam on when you play VR chat, you look like a god. But then
you just see these blades flying about and hitting all these notes and you feel like a badass, but and then the minute you turn on your face cam,
there's just a dude like rocking his shoulders back and forth, standing in one position. That's why whenever I stream VR chat, I just start fucking dancing. I'm just like, you know, if I'm gonna like look trash boy, I'm gonna look the worst.
I can't help but when I'm in VR start dancing.
It's so
like
fun.
I don't think there's ever been a time that I've opened VR and not danced.
Dude, that's the
Because it's just seeing your hands, you can just be like, yeah, ooh, yeah.
It's a bit like
Look at me.
an outer body experience, right? Where you just kind of like, there's no like consequences for doing what you do. Like in real life, you have like that nervous thing of like maybe somebody's like looking at you, but in VR chat, like the VR, just VR in general, sorry, you
No one questions
like
it.
everybody's doing it. You know what I mean? Like it's weird
Yeah.
not to, and you're just like having so
'cause
much fun.
in real life, you're not controlling your arms and legs and head with controllers. You're just a person. So you can't just go start walking around the town just dancing for no reason. Otherwise, people will think you're on drugs. Whereas in VR, people just know that you're just fucking about with a game and everyone loves it. And then they start joining in.
Dude, it's so
Like the minute
good.
any music comes on in VR chat, you see the whole bloody room just start dancing and having a good time. It's terrifying.
Dude, as soon as Rockefeller Street comes on, you know the fucking, the session's gonna go mad.
I'm gonna crunk so hard. You're making me want to play VR now. Stop. We
I
need to
want to
stop.
play VR so bad. You know what? Let's fucking segue out of this conversation so that we can like.
Well,
All right. Okay,
first, let me just
Oh, okay,
continue
go,
a little
go.
bit more,
Yeah.
just because it goes on to streaming still, because I've streamed a lot of VR, but I've also been streaming a lot of non-VR games, because I did a lot of Stardew Valley yesterday, and obviously I've played a lot of Fortnite, and then today I played a lot of Halo.
I saw you streaming a Halo earlier today. Like that's Halo 5, right? The Xbox One.
Yeah.
I was like,
Can you hear that?
no.
There's an ice cream van going past. I think it's being picked up on my mic.
I hope
Ice
it is.
cream. Hello?
Ice cream, guys. We're gonna take a 5-minute break to go get some fucking munchies. I'll talk
I
to you guys
wish.
later.
Oh, I wish I could go get some ice
dude.
cream. It'd be great. I can't be bothered. I've got no change on me. I don't carry money anymore. But
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't carry money, but I got my credit card, and I'm just like, let's go.
it's like just going up to an ice cream man. You got contactless. You got PayPal.
Contact. Hey,
Ice cream vans of the future, man, are gonna have contactless. Be great.
you got Bitcoin, mate.
You got Dogecoin. But yeah, I've been streaming and I've perfected my lighting and it looks so good.
I've got to say, I was very happy with your lighting setup, and I wanted to steal it.
Do it, man.
I might do.
Because this is my lazy setup when I can't be bothered doing like all the green screen and setting up all the lighting and being blinded.
I'm like,
So I can just all I do is just stick on my LED strip, stick on my RGB light behind me, and it just makes everything look blue and pink, and it looks cool. I like it.
oh, dude, I like.
It's just nice.
I think I'm gonna get 2 box lights and just like shove them into my face somehow.
Do it, man.
That's the plan. I think it's like £80, but like I'll figure something out.
It'll be worth it because it'll just look good. It'll make your stream look way better.
Oh yeah, no doubt about
Just
it.
sticking,
you know?
as I mean, like this little tiny LED light I've got was the best purchase I've ever made because it just makes everything look 10 times better.
Yeah,
I don't know how, but it's amazing.
it's actually so mad how important lighting is to a stream. I actually was talking to one of the big streamers about it, and I was just like, out of nowhere, he was just like, okay, listen, here's what you need to have a good stream, right? He's like, get a good microphone, then get lights, then get a webcam. And I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, that's kind of crazy, actually. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
'cause-
it's lights first. Even if you don't have a camera, lights first, because then when you do get a camera, it will be better than if you had a camera before. Because if you go from like really good audio to then really good audio and a shit webcam, people will be like, this webcam's kind of shit.
Yeah.
But if you go from really good audio to then really good webcam, you're golden. It's weird. It's like, that's what I mean. Like, I've been watching videos recently. Like, this guy keeps getting recommended on my YouTube.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know where he's come from, but like I was giving him a watch because it was like it's like best cameras for streaming or best way to do lighting for streaming. I was like, I know how to do it, but why not? I'll give it a watch.
Yeah.
And I watched it and I was like, it revived all of my lighting like training I've had doing film, and I was like, I forgot all of this.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the minute I've like now my lighting looks fucking great. And that's why my green screen when we did Blackout Club looked fucking on point.
Oh, yeah.
Because all of my lighting knowledge just came back and I was like,
It's time.
that's how you do it.
It's time, dude.
So I don't know, I've been really happy with how my quality's done. And originally when I was streaming, like for the past like few months, I've been streaming at 720p
Mm-hmm.
on a low bit rate at a low upscaler.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, why have I done this? My PC is way more capable, so I've upped my bit rate. I'm streaming in 1080p, and I've got the max scaling, and it looks good. And everything runs flawlessly. And I'm like, I could have been doing this for months.
I like. Wait, actually, you have like the same kind of upload speed as me, don't you? Like,
Similar, yeah.
it's like
very similar.
six up, right? Or
Yeah,
six
around
up?
that.
Okay, I'm like 5 up, which is like everybody who's like a professional streamer who's listening right now are probably just going, "It's like, what the hell, nerds? What, you guys living in some third world country?" And that is true. Yes, Ireland it's rough, right?
Ireland and the UK have awful fucking
They
internet.
do actually. It's kind of surprising, really.
bad.
There's some places that have like just amazing internet, and then like you just go outside to the country or just a tiny bit outside of town, and it's like dial up. It's so bad. Oh yeah, like that's the thing.
It's like-
Like I get my internet for a radio dish. It's not through wired or
God,
anything
wow.
like that. And I'm just like,
Oh yeah, because
"Whoa."
you're in the fucking middle of a field,
I am
aren't
in
you?
the middle of a field, yeah. It's actually kind of mad, like sitting there in the middle of the field. Like, lucky enough, I actually do get internet, because if you go 10 minutes down the road from me, they can't get internet at all. So I'm actually
wow.
like extremely lucky with like,
Very
yeah,
lucky.
yeah. But at the same
You'll
time,
have to do a
like,
dead mouse
oof.
and just build a radio tower in your back garden.
Is that what he did?
Have you not seen it? He's got like a 17-story radio tower in his back garden.
He is actually an amazing.
In the back garden of his
Motherfucker.
fucking mansion.
Okay, oh well,
It's
that-
insane. It's watch the tour. It's terrifying. Like Linus Tech Tips did a tour around his house with all his tech shit, and it's kind of scary.
I saw his I saw all of his like his music tech, but I never saw any of his like. I didn't know he had his own like radio dish in the back. You know.
Well, like if you watch Linus's, it shows all of his stuff because he's got like this streaming den where it's like 5 PCs land up for like streaming like PUBG and stuff, and then he's got his own little streaming thing. He streams PUBG all the time, Deadmau5.
Yeah, I've actually seen him like stream every
yeah.
now and then. It's kind of
And,
mad actually.
Yeah, because he has all these PCs that he uses for gaming, and then when they're not used for gaming, they're used for rendering like all of his show, like all of his show cinematics. You know, like when he's on the cube and shit and all that. He uses all these GPUs and all these PCs all around his house connected to a server to then render all of those. He does it all himself, and it's insane.
You actually have to give it to like Deadmau5, like specifically for him doing everything himself, because I wouldn't want to do that like at all.
He doesn't pay anyone to do anything. He does it. Wow, can't speak. He's me when I was doing YouTube. I didn't want to pay anyone to do anything. I was like, I'm going to use this opportunity to learn stuff. And then I'd get to a point where I'm like, I don't want to learn anymore. It's hard.
That's the thing. Like after a while, you kind of figure out the things that you just don't want to do. Like here's the thing. I used to adore video editing, and then I did freelance for 7 years, like editing other people's projects. And now, if I could get somebody else to do that, I would love that. You know, that's why like eventually when things start taking off, the first thing I'm gonna buy is an editor, dude. I'm just gonna buy one of those.
If I haven't
right?
taken off by then, pay me.
I will.
I'll do
dude,
it.
of course. No, well, you're taking off with me, dude. We're gonna buy 2 editors, 2 of them.
Hell yeah.
It's like
I'll be so cool.
it would, right? Like
They'd be editing all the boys on internet videos.
oh, dude, like I've got so many ideas for videos, but just not enough time to make them. So like, and I've got so many scripts, like just done, and like, oh, dude, I'll figure something out. I've got the.
You went
mojo
in
now.
Ireland, I went in England. We'd be able to do so much.
You're
great,
right? It
but, you
would,
know.
wouldn't it? I would just fucking tag each other in every now and then, just be like, "Here you go, dude. I'll do the audio
Hell
editing. You do all the hard shit." It's actually mad, really. I was always quite taken back at how much that I've learned from being kind of forced to do everything myself. You know, because I never had much money. I still don't have a lot of money. I have more than I did though. So now when I look back at all the skills that I've like made and things like that, I'm just like, wow, I've done a lot of shit and I've got a lot of skills. I want to not do half of those things.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's similar to me because it's like like you were saying, you've got more money now, and with me, it was like I did so much more when I had no money,
Yeah.
and I don't know how I did it because I was uploading videos like once a day, and doing like loads, and now that I have money and I could make way better stuff, I just don't. And I think it's mainly because now I'm working,
Yeah.
and then when I've got my days off, I just want to play games and not work. So it's like I want to get out of that, which I've been trying to. That's why I've been streaming a lot more to sort of ease myself into it, like that. So I'm actually doing something productive-ish when I'm off, and just streams are fun. It's easy to just hit start and then you're off.
Yeah, dude, I used to have like the start stream anxiety where like you'd sit there for a while and just hover over the start stream thing. But now I'm just like, whenever I can, I just click that thing and I go. I just like, it's all good. I'm actually have a great time doing it. So,
well, that's what I like about the starting soon like screen, because that gets rid of it. You just start and you're like, oh, it's going to go straight to starting soon, so I don't have to worry. And then it's like, and then you just switch thing and you're on, you're going. It's good.
I think I don't use my starting stream screen like enough.
I use it every time because I'll hit start, and then while the starting soon's on, I'll go to the toilet, get a drink, and then come back and then start. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's actually a good idea, just to like mojo in, right? Because then you're just kind of like just relaxed to start with. Actually, that's kind of I'll do that from now on.
Because I hate the whole if you start it and it's just you sat there in a face cam like looking at your computer trying to figure out like, are you going? It's like, is it working? Have we dropped any frames or anything? No, we're good.
What's going on, fellas? Welcome to the pod. I mean, the stream. That's actually a thing. I definitely need to stream more. I wasn't able to stream this week because I was like super duper sick.
Yeah,
super duper sick. But like now I'm like, I've got plans. So tomorrow I'm gonna stream every single day, and then for like the whole day.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Dude, tomorrow I'm just gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna stream something. I'm gonna pick the first game off my list and just do it. Let's do it. Yes, Queen. Let's do it. Yeah, I gotta stream tomorrow, and then I'm gonna stream Wednesday for my birthday.
Hell yeah,
dude. Actually, yeah, it's kind of weird. Actually, I think I know why I'm sick. I don't know if you have this like mojo or whatever, but every time it becomes my birthday, I always get sick.
I used to get that quite a bit.
Yeah, like it's either when I go on holiday or like it's my birthday. I get so sick. I don't know if it's stress or like my brain just being just like, you know what? We're gonna force you to take some time off, you fucker, whether you like it or not. But like every single time it becomes like my birthday or like a holiday or something, I always get sick. I'm just like,
yeah.
Fuck. It's only for like 1 or 2 days though. Like it's like a quick death.
Yeah. Well, it's like I used to get all the time because I'd work like when I was in the kitchen. Whenever I'd work like mad, like if I did like a 5-day in a row stretch, I'd get it all done. And then I'd be like, oh, I've got loads of days off. But then because I worked so much, my body is just shutting down so that when I'm off, I'm ill. And then I'm ill the whole time I'm off. And then I'm fine by the time I'm back in work. And I'm just like, I couldn't have been ill when I was in work, could I?
Yeah, exactly.
Couldn't have.
It's
Couldn't have.
It's the thing, like, I don't know what it is. I always feel bad when I'm sick at work though. Like whenever I can't do like voice acting or YouTube or like streaming or anything like that, I'm always sitting there in bed and I'm just like, I'm just a feisty boy. Like I can't sit still for very long. Like I'm the kind of guy that like when he's just like in a room downstairs, I like to do a couple of squats and stuff when I'm talking to people and shit like that. I just can't really like stay still. I don't know.
You just go to the cinema and start doing star jumps halfway through. Like,
oh yeah,
yes.
Oh, the cinema is actually the worst case for it because you sit there like I don't know what it is, but like I'm a crossy leggy boy. You know, I like to.
Oh, I'm 100%. Yeah,
I like to cross those legs, right? And after a while, you've crossed one leg and then you get a dead leg. And then you cross the other leg and then you get another dead leg. And then you stand up for a bit and you're just like, okay, I need to do some squats or something. I need to get
I'm glad we're in the same boat.
Do people are constantly just like, do you like ever sit still for once in your life? And I'm just like, no.
Oh my God, you're exactly the same as me. That's fucking great. You are exactly the same as me. Like, the worst thing I have is my chair has armrests on it.
I can't touch him.
And I can't cross my legs on my chair. So I end up just sitting there like every 5 minutes, crossing my legs differently and just shifting about and being like, you can probably hear my chair throughout the entire podcast just because I'm constantly trying to find a comfortable spot. Like, oh, I'm so bad for it. And like when I'm at the dinner table, I have to have my legs crossed. And I end up kneeing people and just kicking them. And I'm like, sorry, I'm uncomfortable. I can't sit with my legs straight.
It's either my legs cross or like, I don't know how to explain it, but kind of like how a monk would sit, I guess. Like, you know, like they put their legs underneath themselves.
Oh, I get you. Where like you sit on your feet.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do that. No.
It's like, I don't know, it's relaxing to me.
No, my knees. I've got really bad knees, and that would just snap. They'd just pop out. It'd be like a...
My legs are so lanky that half the time where people are just like, oh, you know, you can sit on the floor, I'm just like, like my legs have to be stretched out. And usually they're like in the way of everybody. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to like cross my legs and sit in this like, this position. And people are just like, what are you doing? Are you going to like pray or something? I'm just like, nah, man, it's just Blairlex things.
Just Blairlex things.
Blairlex things. Hashtag just Blairlex things. Oh, actually, yeah, there was a thing I did actually want to talk about on the podcast as well. I forgot to bring it up earlier, right?
Lay it on me.
So, I was thinking about this quite often, right? And I have this like this thing I do every single time when it comes near my birthday. I look back at the people who like inspired me and see if they still inspire me. You know what I mean? Kind of just kind of
like a sort of personal year in review type of deal, like
like
a personal life in review. I get you.
A year in growth, right? To like, because like your tastes change like every single year, right? You change things, and like one day this was your favorite person, and then one day that was your favorite person, and I always bring. Like I always go back because these are some of my favorite people on the planet. Like and they still will always be my favorite people on the planet. It seems because I've been doing this for the last like 6 years, and they're still my favorite people. So like to start with, you got Tom Kenny, which is the voice actor of SpongeBob. He will. Oh fuck! you find out. Definitely, Tom Kenny.
I nailed mine. Then I'm not gonna lie.
You did, and I'm mad at you because I wanted to be involved, but I can't. It's like Tom Kenny, just in general. Like I don't know why. He's just one of the most nicest people.
He's just a super nice guy and ridiculously talented.
Like,
because how many people he's voiced, and half the time I didn't even realize until like I'd seen the cast, and I'm like, that was Tom Kenny? How the fuck?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
how is his voice so versatile? I don't get it.
He's got such a voice that you're just like, okay, so that's Tom Kenny. But he has so many repertoires of other voices as well that you're just like, whoa, what the, how do you do that? Help!
Because it's like he's SpongeBob, and then he's also Squanch in Rick and Morty, and you can hear SpongeBob in Squanch, so you're like, oh, that's Tom Kenny, I can tell that easily, yeah. But then you'll watch something like Transformers, and he's like the gangster robot, and you're like, hang on.
Oh, and like,
excuse me?
And like Adventure Time as well, like where he's like the unacceptable.
Yeah. No, that's Justin Roiland.
Oh, is it Justin Roiland? No, it's not Justin.
That's Justin Roiland.
Is it?
It is. He plays Lemon Grab.
No, sorry. Tom Kenny is the Ice Prince.
Yeah, the Ice King. Yeah,
the Ice King.
Yeah.
Sorry,
he's Ice King.
Yeah, he's the Ice King. Sorry, my bad. I got confused there. I thought they were the same person.
Yeah, because Lemongrab is the exact same voice as Morty, and Morty is the exact same voice as Lemongrab, and
that actually kind of that I'm making a mistake there.
You're an ill boy.
I voice act sins there, dude. I'm going to commit Sudoku.
Well, it's a running thing on this podcast now where you think something is something and you're like, oh fuck yeah, it's wrong. I didn't mean it. It's just me being an idiot.
90% of the time on this podcast, I'm always wrong.
That's why you've got me here. It's filling the gaps.
We just need like proofreaders to go over the podcast like afterwards and just put in like, no, Blairlex was wrong right now. I'll be sitting there and like the thing is that we're just not controversial on this podcast, so it just doesn't matter. But one day I'm gonna get so controversial. Like, I don't know when that day is gonna be, but I'm just gonna say something that's gonna ruin everything, and then people like their proofreaders are just gonna be like, no, stop, abort.
You're just gonna we're just gonna get fact checked one day, and then everything's gonna be wrong, and we're just gonna have a whole episode that is just complete gibberish.
It's just like, dude, the moon is made of cheese, and then people are gonna be just like, no, it's not, it's not.
Yes, it is, and it stares at me from the window. But yeah, because that reminds me, I think it was the first or the second podcast, it was one of them. You know when we do our shout outs at the end?
Oh, we do, yes.
I said like, oh, you can also find me on Twitch at youtube.com/Scottscy. And every time I hear it, I get so angry. Because I say find me on Twitch at youtube.com. Like, oh, it angers me every time I hear it. And, oh...
I actually do remember that. I think I remember giving you shit after the podcast. Just like...
I can't. Every time I hear it, I'm like, I am an idiot.
I think we do that very like often though. Like, it's just
probably the amount of times we say something we don't even realize we're saying it.
The best thing about being human is the fact that like you can just be wrong like all the time, and it doesn't matter. Like.
Because we're only human.
Exactly. Dude.
Yeah.
We're only human after all.
After all.
Right. I'm an analyst. I can't go to Yemen.
You're too ill to sing.
Sorry. I fucked it up as well.
But, what was this? What was it? Yeah, your inspiration's gone. Carry on with that.
I've actually got... I've got so many of them that I think about like very often.
Am I one?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Mwah. Dude, I think about you day and night, dude. Every single day. No, but you're actually kind of like my inspiration. You keep me motivated. And that's, the thing.
I keep you in check to make sure you do the podcast every week.
Oh, yeah, you do. You're very good at keeping me in check.
If I didn't mention the podcast to you, we'd miss many weeks.
I think I might forget because I'm just the type of person that like I wake up every day and I make a plan, and that's all that I think about. And
you think about that day.
Yeah. So say like of something, like if I had like a plan and I didn't finish everything like the day before, the end of that plan is just, it's gone. So somebody's just like, oh, we should play games tomorrow. I'm just like, yeah, dude. Then the next day I'm just like, okay, so this is what I got to do today. And I just like continue on my day, and I always feel so bad, but it's just how my brain works. I've got such a bad short-term memory. That's why I make a plan every day. I just make the plan and I follow it to like a T, which is kind of crazy. Oh yeah, but like inspirations, yes. So my other 5 inspirations that I like that I get quite often is like Weird Al.
Oh really?
Weird Al is one of my favorite people on the planet.
Have you watched the 2 episodes of Game Grumps with Weird Al?
I've seen like they're there, but I haven't watched them yet.
They're so good. Definitely give them a watch. They are hilarious. He's just such a good fit, and he's a lunatic, and I love him.
That's the thing, right? Like,
this will be a huge compliment to you then, because when I was listening to him, I was like, this guy has the exact same mannerisms as Blair. Like a lot of the things he did, it just felt like something you'd do, and I was like, I was gonna mention it to you, and I completely forgot. But I'm glad you brought that up. It was one of the first things I thought about. I was like, this guy just reminds me of Blair so much.
It's actually
just great.
It actually makes me like blush a little bit because like,
you,
dude. It's like, I don't know, with Weird Al, like, ever since I was like growing up and stuff like that, I grew up on kind of like Weird Al's music. Very funnily enough, like he kind of grew up with my like sense of humor, like, you know, white and nerdy, fucking like all that type of stuff. I just love that stuff. But the way that like Weird Al, like the way that he presented himself as such like out of the mold, gave me like such inspiration to just kind of be myself in a weird way. As when I was younger, I used to be like, I consider it now like a victim of cringe culture, right? So like everything you do is cringe and you're not allowed to express yourself because it's cringe and all that type of stuff. Like when now I'm just like, dude, I'm like the cringiest person on the planet and I'm more happy than ever, right?
See, that's the thing with the internet though, innit? It's like 50-50. It's like half of the internet are like super against being sort of unique and idiotic and just sort of like just being yourself and being an idiot on the internet. 50% are super for it, and then the other 50% are like, cringe, get away, and then they stick to the mainstream, and it's just boring. If you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing with the internet nowadays. It's like sort of 50-50 split, isn't it? You've just got to find the right community to fit in.
Which my biggest problem with like cringe culture in general is the fact that cringe culture is so like as a person who used to be trapped in cringe culture, I understand like how they feel about like when they talk shit on things, right? They're talking shit on things because they want to be a part of something, right? And they'll never admit it because I never fucking would. Right? And if people were like, if I was very difficult back then, like I know other people would be as well. So like it's understandable how they would feel in that whole situation. So whenever I see that type of stuff, I always feel so sorry, but also a little bit frustrated because I see myself in them when I was younger, and I'm just like, fuck off. But really, I'm not saying fuck off to them because they'll grow out of it. Cringe culture is a thing that you grow out of.
Yeah, definitely.
But like mainly just saying fuck off to myself because I never want to fall back into that. But that's why Weird Al was such a like inspiration to me, because he just didn't care. Like through interviews and things like that, you know, these interviewers would try and like make him feel weird, but he would just like he didn't need to stand up to him because he had that much self-confidence.
Yeah.
In the fact that like being weird is just normal, that I like that's just why he's one of my like biggest inspirations, like for just life in general. I guess it's a weird thing. I guess,
I kind of had something similar growing up myself. Like, I personally had, I know it's kind of weird to say at my age, but I had Jack Black when I was a kid. And that was probably the worst. That's probably why I'm quite vulgar as is now. Like, growing up with Jack Black and watching Tenacious D and listening to the music when I was a little kid. But, you know.
Well, Jack Black's a good one because he's the same,
he just
has his own
super
mold.
Weird.
Yeah,
he's super weird and he lives it. Like, half of his songs are him going like, like, it's him like sort of, doing like some sort of scat type thing in metal, and it was just so cool. Like, I was a little metalhead kid and just loved his stupid humor, and like that's pretty much what's molded me as a person now. I love rock and metal, and I love comedy. Yeah. So it's like, it's weird how like much of an inspiration just sort of some artists have when you are younger. Like as I've said, like your mannerisms are very Weird Al-ish. It's obvious that it took a big impression of you when you were a kid.
Oh yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with that. It's like everyone takes inspiration from everything. You're a sponge when you're a kid, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
You take fucking anything from everyone and become like, it's what makes you because you take a little bit of someone else, a little bit of that person, and then just sort of like build your own
like eventually
personality around everyone else's, isn't it? It's like,
oh yeah, that's the thing. Like your personality is molded by the people you surround yourself and the influences that you take in, and the way, luckily enough, the influences that I took in were really, really positive. You know, like
same. That's why I'm kind of scared for like kids nowadays, where a lot of their influences are YouTubers and Twitch streamers, which a lot of them have got are super wholesome. A lot of them are super nice, and then you've got people like Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Rice Gum. A lot of them are gonna be like our version of Jack Black and Weird Al, and it's just gonna ruin kids. They're gonna grow up trying to be spoiled brats and treating people like shit, and it's not great.
You see, I don't
it's one
know,
of the negative
like,
sides of the internet.
This is a thing that like I kind of agree with on you on this one. There is
really?
There is like the forced negativity in like say like commentary channels and things like that, right? It's people feel more people can sympathize with other people who are in a bad situation, right? More than people who are in a good situation, right? It's usually why when people like become successful through like YouTube and things like that, people like turn on them, right?
Yeah.
Which is why when I see like people like Rice Gum and things like that, and I see the influences that I grew up with, because I grew up with like Weird Al and things like that, but I also had like really negative influences as well, because I had like a very bad school life and a very bad like early life in general. So my escape was through these super positive people, right? But due to the fact that the kind of like content creation around everybody else is very forced negativity with a lot of this stuff, with diss tracks, talking shit, right? Commentary channels, all that type of thing. But like I said before, it's kind of a thing that you grow out of. I feel like you just grow out of being sad. Is that a weird thing to say? You kind of like Community is a big thing, which I bring up so much. That's one of my favorite TV shows as well. Actually, another one of my influence as well, like Abed from Community. Just when the Christmas episode where like where they're just like, oh, fucking Abed, you're gleeful right now. We hate the Glee Club. Then Abed's just like, yeah, well, I just guess I just like liking things. And that's stuck with me so much, to the fact that like I just think eventually people realize, because I feel like content in general is very, very positive, right? But the loudest content is the negative content. But there's more positive content than there is negative content.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a very small collective of kids that are going to get ruined by the likes of...
Oh, yeah.
Hype beasts, I'm going to call them. I don't want to name them much.
Hype beasts, yeah.
But like, it's going to be a small collective. Yeah, definitely. It's not going to be the majority. I'm not saying like all kids are going to grow up and become bastards because of like obviously YouTube. It's going to be a small collective of those that like idolize these dickheads who have the position they shouldn't. It's just like, obviously there's going to be a small collective, whereas like a lot on, because I know kids that age, like my stepbrother and stuff, like they despise people like Logan Paul and stuff as well, and they stick to different YouTubers and all this. So it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like obviously a small amount, which is going to be the troubled kids in school that have all like who will start arguing with teachers and stuff because they think they're all amazing because they're influenced by these people that think they're gods of the earth.
Yeah.
It's just, I hate that's going to take effect on kids, if you know what I mean. It's not going to be a lot of them, but it's going to, and that's what I hate about it.
You see, like the biggest thing with like I don't know why, but like at least whenever I was a young kid with this type of stuff, you know, I generally just think kids are assholes in general. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, they are definitely, yeah.
I also think they're allowed to be like a little bit assholey, because you kind of have to be a bit of an asshole to become a good person. You got to understand how it feels to take being an asshole, and then you got to understand what it feels like to give being an asshole, right? So the thing is though with say like Jake Paul and stuff like that, right? While I see them and they're not my type of content, right? I'm very just like nonchalant. They can do them. Like I don't really care too much. But with that feeling, right? You get this like mojo. It's kind of like you remember when you were like a kid, right? And you watched like a Jackie Chan movie and stuff like that, and you were just like, I'm gonna kick the shit out of my bullies. And then you do it. And you do not feel good.
Oh, yeah.
At all. You know?
Well, it's because you get in trouble for it and then you realise that it's not a good thing. You know what I mean?
It's like, because you see, that's the thing with like a lot of these like YouTubers and things like that. Like they do get in trouble for what they do. And it's like, it's clearly shown like how they will never get away with it, right? And there is a lot of people who would be just like, oh, you know, like I could take this abuse, like I could take it, like, yeah, they've got lots of money and things like that, but these guys are not going to be able to escape that past, like, ever. And I feel like
Oh yeah,
the
definitely.
smart people who are just like, oh shit, okay, I actually see what they've got to go through now. Like, I'm not going to do anything stupid like that, right? And a lot of people don't have the platform to do something like that, right?
Yeah.
So
It's true. It's true. Like, that's what I'm saying. There is gonna be those kids that are watching it, and then once they grow up, they're gonna realize, like, oh wow, what the fuck are these guys?
right.
Like, I did it. Like, I look back at some of the stuff I used to watch, and I'm like, why the fuck was I watching this?
Oh
And
yeah.
how was I enjoying this? But
If you don't look
it's
back
like,
at the stuff that
but
you watched when you were younger and go like, ugh, I don't think you're
But, like,
growing
that's the
as a
thing though, like,
person, right?
YouTube culture, how it is now, wasn't like this when we were kids. There was no YouTube when we were kids. There was not, like, all the stuff we were influenced by was television. All of these, like, written stuff designed for children.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. We were exposed to stuff for children, and we were raised that specific way. Whereas a lot of kids now just have access to.
Now,
Well,
when you
in
say
general, I mean, I had two
for
older brothers,
children,
so I watch.
Like, I mean, like, I don't. If you go back to some of the old cartoons and things like that, they were kind of fucked up. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but it teaches you that life isn't how it seems.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, like, I feel like Courage the Cowardly Dog, how terrifying that was, still isn't as bad as putting a kid in front of a Logan Paul or Jake Paul video. If you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot more negative connotations with YouTube than there was with, like, the terrifying cartoons of our age. But it's still like, I'm just really curious of how people are gonna turn out from this generation. You know, like, once they're like 30, it's like, how are they gonna be? Like, I'm really curious how it's gonna work.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm actually kind of excited for it. Really, actually, funnily enough, because the way that I feel, like, at least this generation, like our generation, we're the generation of personality and speaking out, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
We're the only generation.
Well, it's mainly
where
because
like,
we're the first.
allowed to do
We're-
that, right?
Well, it's because, like, we're the first generation of, like, 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
Let's say, who have this platform of the internet that is established to a point where you can communicate with anyone, anytime, from anywhere. It's like we're the first generation of 20-year-olds to have that ability. So people just, like, people speak out way more and can make a big fuss out of, like, I don't mean out of nothing, but, like, it can just rise out of nowhere and become this huge thing, which, like, has done a lot of good, which is kind of, like, terrifying to think, because it's like, if it can do that much good, it can also do a lot of bad, which we've seen a few cases of. But I don't know, has it been more good than bad? We're still yet to find out, because it's still, like, early years, isn't it? It's kind of, I don't know, it's weird of what the internet's gonna do to the world.
That's the thing, like, which is very, like, an exciting thing. We're the first generation to have every single piece of information at our fingertips, you know? Like, you can get, like, a college degree through Wikipedia, you know, like,
through Skillshare.
from Skillshare. Well, but, like, that's the thing as well. Like, it's
Use
just
code.
maybe one day we'll get a sponsor.
That would have been hella segue if we did.
That would have been,
Skillshare.
like,
Hello.
such a sick segue, actually.
Hello.
Dude,
Shame.
Nah,
Anyway,
we'll get
go
one.
on.
We'll get one. It's just
I just like the meme.
it's just with all this, like, we have all this information, and we also have all this technology at our fingertips. We also have all this reach as well, right? I generally think the last generation were exactly the same as us. They just couldn't be as loud because of the internet wasn't a thing. But I generally think they had the same feelings and emotions and stuff like that, right? You could say maybe the times were a bit different and stuff like that, but I generally think it's very similar to the way people feel. You know, you kind of got these, like, you see, I just don't. At least for me, when like media and stuff like that, they go like, oh, the internet is like influencing our children, right, and stuff like that. Well, yeah, but
Well, it's like, as you've said, we've said this up before, I think, on the podcast, like the loudest person is the one that's gonna get the most coverage. Yeah. So that's like the main reason people think the internet is influencing kids negatively, is because it's the most arrogant people who are the loudest. So they're the ones that are gonna get seen and are gonna get publicity through the media, saying like, oh, they're making our kids into assholes, which, yeah, they might be doing that to a small percentage, but there's also this percentage of the internet that like looks after like people who are growing up different gendered than they want to be, and who look after like people who don't relate to anyone, or like it looks after so much more. But the media just doesn't look at that and looks at these assholes doing stupid shit. And it's
well, it's like
the internet gets such negative press when in reality it's doing a lot of good for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing. Like I always bring this up whenever like conversations. Like I believe forced negativity is a really bad problem. I also believe forced positivity is a very bad problem as well. It's hard to find an in between. Like, I believe that, like, when you have forced positivity, right, people believe that you cannot be sad, which you totally can be sad, right? Same thing with forced negativity, like, you can't just be sad all the time. You got to be happy sometimes. With media and stuff like that is, what are you gonna click on more, right? Like, this guy, like. Let's use like Donald Trump for example, right? Like Donald Trump's done something bad again. Like he's fucko duckoed. Or
did you see what he did? We could use that as an example, where he invited a bunch of like college football kids over to the White House for lunch and gave them all McDonald's that was just sat on a table for hours. Because he's a fucking imbecile.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, that's kind of funny.
He looked so happy with himself, and everyone was like, "You're an idiot." All of these like athletes, you're giving them cold McDonald's. They're all there in suits, expecting this like fancy meal at the White House, and it's just a fucking long table covered in Big Macs. It's
I'm just imagining the scene where you know where he did that like McDonald's commercial.
Yeah.
It's like, we're gonna make a lot of money in this town.
Donald Trump. Oh my days, it was genuinely, it's just such a funny image. He stood there looking so happy with himself with this massive fucking table of cold McDonald's. Like, are you that stupid?
I haven't seen the image, but like,
you need to see it, man.
I bet it's an image. Like, let me just guess his pose. Right, he's got his arms out, like like, are you entertained? Kind of like arms out pose. Just like in front of him is like all the McDonald's.
How the fuck did you know?
Oh my god! Yeah.
I've sent you it.
Oh god! At least there's some salads in there,
It's just ridiculous,
dude. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really follow politics. Well, actually, I do.
I don't. But just seeing that come up on your feed, you have to click it.
Oh god, it's so funny. See, here's the thing. I actually adore politics. I actually love talking about politics.
There's one with better lighting. Sorry. I need it. It'll be the thumbnail, so I need to keep it.
Can somebody like you should Photoshop like a bunch of like McDonald's characters in the back.
Well, like Grimace and fucking Ronald McDonald and shit.
Oh, we've got to be in there too as well, dude. Of course, like,
dude. Oh my god.
But it's the thing. Like I love politics. I really do. I love how like crazily chaotic they get. The conversation like fascinates me. But I will admit, it's very scary at times.
I don't know shit about politics.
That's good. You're probably better off not knowing anything.
I've kept out of it because I'm not mature minded enough to worry or like to involve myself in politics, because everyone's like, oh, you need to know what's going on, you need to all this, and I'm like, see,
Nah.
I do, but I'm also a case of I won't understand half of it, and I'd have to educate myself on so much of all this, and I'm just like, it's a lot of time to learn about a lot of stuff that more intelligent people can worry about, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm not intelligent enough to worry about politics because I won't have a fucking clue what I'm looking at, what I'm hearing, what I'm looking at, and I'm just like, no, I'm not a politics-minded person.
That's the thing. Like, politics is just a very personal thing. It's very like, nobody can tell you your politics and all that type of stuff. So whenever somebody comes to me and they're just like, oh, I have like this opinion about politics and stuff like that, I'm just like, that's awesome. If you got to that feeling like on your own with like, with the influences that you have, and you are proud to defend that, then that's awesome. Even if we disagree, because at the end of the day, you have to do things that benefit yourself. Like, you wouldn't vote for something that's gonna put you in a bad position, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Nobody would do that, like, at all. So it's very personal, and it's the morality thing about politics. While there is some morality things about politics, I generally believe that you should just vote for stuff that makes your life better. That's what it's for.
Yeah, definitely.
That's literally all you need to think about.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love this image, actually, dude. I
can't
actually stop looking at it.
Trump in this bloody lovely, like, White House room surrounded by McDonald's. It's just ridiculous. He's a big fan of fast food, though. He loves it, and that's why. He's just super into it.
It feels like it should be photoshopped, but it's not.
It's not. Yeah, it's real. Like, I've seen the footage of like all the athletes coming in all these like suits and everything, looking all smart, and they're all like, "What the fuck is this?" Oh, it's so good. We went on another tangent though.
We did. Oh yes,
because you were on about influences, and you only got through two, and we've just gone
Oh.
off on like two tangents from them. Tangents.
Okay.
Jesus.
All right. Another. Okay. I'm
Go on, hit us
gonna
with one more.
I'm gonna bullet through them. Actually, I'm gonna bullet through them. Okay.
Go on.
So obviously, Will Stamper is like one of my favorite voice actors ever.
Hello. Yeah.
Oh, hello, friends. What seems to be the trouble? Just you can tell my influence with that one. I just love him to bits. He's one of my favorite people on the planet. I think he got banned off Twitter again.
I'm not surprised.
But then you've got Nate Wants to Battle.
Oh, he's a good boy.
Nate Wants to Battle is like just in general, like, just very pop punky, very, very, very special.
He influenced me a lot for music again, like getting me wanting to get back into music.
Well, that's the thing. It's so crazy, like, with how, like, what I thought, like, the whole pop punky thing was going out of fashion, and it like made me a bit sad. And to see he was still there rocking it made me very, very happy.
It'll never die, pop punk. It's too
good.
It's too mainstream rock, if you know what I mean. Like, all the people who are into rock and that love pop punk. It's always going to be in, because you've got bands like Neck Deep, which are huge and stuff like that. So it's never going to die. It's just
I remember
a lot more under the radar now of how big like charts music is.
Yeah.
But go on.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry. There's another lady. Her name is Jubyphonic. She's a YouTuber who I've been like watching for such a long time as well. She's just she basically turns Vocaloid songs into like English covers, and I love her. She's so goddamn good. I think I've sent you like videos of her before.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, she's another one of my influences, just for the sake of her singing style is very, very unique, and like I don't know. I don't actually know too much more to say on that, but like, I really like her. She's great. Um, she's great. Obviously Danny Sexbang.
Oh yeah, what a hero.
Danny Sexbang is just, everybody knows everything about Danny Sexbang. Just the nicest person on the planet, very positive. Just shows that, like, even when you're in your, like, 30s or 40s, you know, it doesn't matter how long.
In late 30s,
it doesn't matter how long it takes, you can still make it.
You can become a rock star even if you've tried and failed for years.
You have to fail before you can win.
You can eventually do something right and then just boom.
Even when you're winning, you're still failing. Then there's Rift Shop. Obviously, Rift Shop is
they're great.
They're so good.
Fucking
I
great.
actually like, I'm on their vocal course and it's amazing. It's actually really, really good. Their vocal academy is just, that's how I've learned to sing, like, so quickly. And yeah, that's mainly
Anything else?
You know what? I'd have to say Jacksepticeye as well. While I don't watch Jacksepticeye's content, just that's the thing. Like, it's a weird thing to say because everyone's just like, you know, you're Irish, you like Jacksepticeye, but like, I just don't really watch him.
Well, it's one of those
like I respect him so much for.
Same. I can't watch his stuff, but I love him to pieces.
Yeah.
I just can't watch his stuff. It's not for me. But it just shows that it's that whole philosophy of nice guys finish first.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Like, everyone always goes like, "Oh, nice guys finish last." No,
Nope.
it's like it just shows that really nice people will always find their way along.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Like, you will get places by being a nice guy.
Yeah, of course.
It's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Danny Sexbang, or Dan Avidan, and like Jacksepticeye are two of the nicest people like I've ever seen on the platform. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anything they've ever done come across as like a sort of dick move, other than fucking Jacksepticeye's clothing brand, which is way too expensive. But we'll brush that one.
Clothing brands, though, you know how it is, dude. I feel.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I've let it off, because
like when we start our Boys on the Internet clothing brand, it's gonna be like clothing brand. It's gonna be, you know, we're gonna charge Gucci prices for that. You know what I mean, dude? Like, that says
£200 for a t-shirt because we've sewn it by hand.
Dude. Like with the bled, the
bled, sweat and
tears of me.
The boys.
Dude, but there we go, dude. I think it's a good time to end it. How you feel about that?
I'm feeling pretty good about that, my
dude,
dog.
That was a good fucking podcast, dude. You know what?
It was good today, wasn't it? We got through the funny stuff. We got into some serious, like, convo. Funnily enough, like, half the stuff we talked about there, you know, with the whole Logan Paul, Jake Paul, blah, blah, blah. A lot of that was from that scrapped podcast we did.
From the scrap podcast. Funny enough, yeah. We just like
because we scrapped a podcast. It was the second podcast we ever recorded because we got way too deep on like a certain, like, that topic of the whole, like, people inspiring kids and stuff, and we didn't want that necessarily as the second episode because we didn't want to do the first episode talking about anime tits and all this and then trying to be dead funny, and then the second episode where if there's new people like experiencing our podcast for the first time, they wouldn't know our personalities and they wouldn't know what type of people we are. And then we'd be throwing this very opinionated commentary at them in the second episode when the first one was talking about anime titties. So we sort of just scrapped it. It wasn't the right place. So we basically covered everything in that podcast, in that little like section there, which
exactly.
Like, I'm glad we did. Like, it was good.
As much as it comes to it, like, I don't even think we talked about anything else in that other podcast. It was like an hour of us just talking about that.
Well, we talked about that and the whole like Tumblr.
Yes, we did talk about the Tumblr.
NSFW, didn't we? Which that's gone by the wind now.
We can't talk about that anymore. God damn it, dude. This is the problem with our podcast, dude. We're always late. We're always late.
Like, you're always late. I'm like, you ready to film on Saturday? And you're like, oh, sorry, I got really drunk on Friday and now I'm hungover.
Okay, yeah, that was definitely my fault. I forgot to drink water before I went to bed, and then I woke up and then I was dead.
Always drink water.
Always drink water, folks.
Always just down a pint of water before you go to bed.
Every single time. Never forget it. Like, force yourself out of the bed to do it, and then you will have a better time.
You will.
We will.
You'll thank us later. You'll thank us. You'll be like, oh, I hate them. Why am I doing this? And then in the morning you'll be like, thanks, Scott and Alex. You're my hero. Because we are
the boys on internet podcast. So Scott, dude, tell us where you can find you.
Well, you could find me on the YouTubes at youtube.com/Scottscy and on Twitch, where I've been streaming a lot more, so please come give me a follow. I need viewers, please. At twitch.tv/Scottscy. That's twitch.tv, not YouTube. Twitch.tv/Scottscy. And on Instagram as @Scottscy and on Twitter @ScottscyYT. I don't know why it's YT. I don't do YouTube that much, but you know what I mean. Because Scottscy is somehow taken, but when you search
it's the same
Scottscy,
thing
there's
with
no one.
Blairlex, dude. Blairlex is taken, but Blairlex, my dude, is not. God damn it.
But there's no account on Twitter called @Scottscy. There's not.
Somebody took it and then they got terminated. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't refresh the usernames, which is really sad.
So yeah, like if I ever get verified on YouTube or Twitch, I can just go up to Twitter and be like, give me that handle, and they'd be like, okay,
give it to me, please.
So that's the goal. Get me partnered on Twitch so I can have the handle, please. Blair.
Oh. What?
Who are you again? Where are you? What?
Ireland?
Stop making that joke every time. Just segue it. Blair, I'm gonna come to your house,
dude. Please do. We're gonna have
nurse
like
you
McDonald's.
back to health.
So yeah,
with Trump.
So you can find me at the White House at youtube.com/c/Blairlex. Or you can find me at twitch.tv at twitch.tv/Blairlex. Or you can find me on the social medias on twitter.com and Instagram at Blairlex, my dude. Or you can find me on Casting Call Club if you want any voice work at Casting Call Club Blairlex.
That's not a bad show, that.
Yeah, right? Like, that's the thing.
Not bad.
Exactly. That's how it goes. And you know what, dude? With that.
Wait.
What?
Wait.
What?
You can also listen to this podcast on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and now Acast.
We are on Acast now?
We're on Acast now.
We did it!
Finally, because I emailed them about it.
Yes.
And got hold of them, and they were like, oh, yes, there you go, and it's up. So yeah, if you're looking for a way to listen to podcasts on your phone and you don't have Spotify or iTunes or whatever, Acast's really good. It lets you download it and listen to it offline and stuff like that. It's really nice. So I recommend it. Joe uses it quite a lot to listen to podcasts, and he stands by it. So
well, that's the thing. Like, I never heard of Acast until recently.
Neither have I.
And it's actually now the only thing I listen to podcasts on. Like, it's actually
really?
Yeah, I've completely switched over to Acast now, which is actually kind of crazy.
Well, I listen to mine on Spotify because that's what I listen to everything on. So it's just easy to keep it all in one place for me. But yeah, we're on everywhere. We're trying to get it as far as we can get it for everyone.
If there's anywhere else
Google
where
Play.
we can get it, just send us an email. We should.
There's Google Play, but who uses that? I don't know.
Google Play.
But if you're listening to this on YouTube and you'd like it to have it on the go, just give us a shout on like what you'd like it on, and we'll try and see what we can do. Yeah.
With that, dude.
Cool.
I will see you.
It's time to
next
end.
time, dude.
I'll see you in the next video.
Bye-bye. I guess they never missed. Huh? You got a boyfriend?
Where's the blacksmith?